So welcome everyone to today's event. We are all here today to celebrate Latinx Heritage Month. And I'm really excited that this event is available for all of us. And what I'd like to start us out with is basically I would like to share my screen so that we can all participate in this together. So it's a little bit different because in real life, we would be so excited to be in a space together and to share and to celebrate. But what a wonderful opportunity that we have to be able to do this virtually. So I'm going to share my screen and then you all will be able to see the PowerPoint that we are going to be working with, La Cosecha 2020. And if you showed up to today's event and you weren't necessarily sure what you were showing up to, thank you. We are celebrating the what's also known as Hispanic Heritage Month or Latinx Heritage Month. And hopefully today, in a little bit, you will have an understanding about what the two different terminology is and why we encourage folks to use the Latinx Heritage Month. So let's go ahead and get started. Bienvenidos de nuevo. Again, I said welcome, so I want to introduce myself because I haven't done that yet and you don't know who I am. So my name is Adriana Broger, and I am a faculty member at San Joaquin Delta College. I teach radio and television, digital media. And we also have some other folks on the call. We have Mujeres Machas that I'm going to call out are Claudia Navarro. We have Tina Leal. We have Eva Martinez, and we have Violeta Ibarra. And Violeta is not Delta College family, but she's my family, my sister, not really, but I claim her anyway. And she is a Spanish teacher at Lincoln Unified School District. So we know that we've got lots of people joining us from different organizations. First of all, we'd like to thank the Cultural Awareness Program, CAPS, for sponsoring this event. It is a very important thing to step back and recognize the intersectionality of so many of the different things that we deal with. And so we're so grateful to CAPS for the work that they do on our campus and in our community to promote this interconnectedness. We would also like to acknowledge that we have some folks from campus that if we were in real life, we would acknowledge and say welcome to the various members of administration, to our deans, to our other faculty, staff. But we know that today, because we are celebrating so many different layers of what we do, we are not just at Delta College, but we also have folks who are joining us from the Bay Area Gardeners Foundation, from Stockton, Lodi, and Lincoln Unified School Districts, since we have partnerships with many of those folks as well. And of course, we also want to thank each and every single one of you because it means a lot to us that folks registered for our event and that you're joining us here today. Next, we want to draw your attention that this is an entire month-long celebration. So throughout today, you're going to hear that Latinx Heritage Month is celebrated September 15th through October 15th. And at San Joaquin Delta College, there are a number of really great events planned. And each of the events has a game or something fun to go along with it. And we decided to do a virtual scavenger hunt for Mujeres Machas. And so we encourage everyone to join us. There are different things here that you can be a part of. And it's just a fun way to create community and engagement with all of the various people. So it doesn't matter where you're joining us from. I know that we have some people from other countries. I know that there are folks tuning in from Mexico, from Costa Rica, and maybe even La República Dominicana. So you can all play along. That's a great thing about being virtual, is you can join us from wherever you are. And so if you're wondering how to do that, here are the instructions to join our virtual scavenger hunt. So you can just download this app. And it's a free app, so you can download this to your device and then play along by selecting either this code, you can enter our code here, or you can also select Latinx History Month Mujeres Machas Scavenger Hunt, and then you'll be right in our game. And you still have time to play. So one thing that we do want to note is our game is done, I believe it's done Thursday morning at 9 a.m. So you've got some time yet. We encourage you to play along. It's a lot of fun. And there are some great real prizes, including one that I think is going to be great is Millennial Loteria. And that is offered to us by our CAPS committee chairperson, our Latinx History Month coordinator, Dr. Sarah C. Cates, as well as many other gifts and prizes offered by some of the partners that you will meet later in our program. All right, so La Cosecha. What is La Cosecha? If you speak Spanish, then you probably are familiar with what this is, and we would translate that into English as the harvest. And the harvest, as you see here, it's a noun, it's a process or period of gathering. We want you to think about this as it relates to the events that you're going to watch today. And so I don't want to say more than just think about this, and later when we have a Q&A open panel discussion, then I'd like you to bring up your questions or your thoughts. And so in order to keep us on time, we're not going to do introductions or allow for other folks to engage until we get to that Q&A session. And then we do want to hear, all right? Okay, so here we might be wondering, what is even Mujeres Machas? So I have to tell you, Mujeres Machas is something that is very near and dear to my heart. It is a term that my grandfather used to use all the time. My mom's dad would say, he would call us Mujeres Machas, and that was that we were brave women, and that he would say that una mujer macha can handle herself in any situation. And so just to give you a little bit of background and history on this, I have been teaching at Delta College since 2012 and 2016 full-time. Before that, I went to school at CSU Stanislaus, and in my experience in Modesto and Turlock, there is a lot of movement for folks to be very involved in this Latinx movement. And I was really eager to see that happen here in Stockton. And so I reached out to some of my dear colleagues on campus, and I said, so here's this idea that's been sitting in my head. And anyhow, we launched last year with a podcast taping, and our hope is to continue the conversation, not just in Stockton on San Joaquin Delta College, but throughout the community. So we're going to share this short video with you, and then we'll be on with the rest of our program. In each one of us, there are stories. Sharing stories is not just a way of communicating, but beyond that, I believe that sharing stories is self-care. Mujeres Machas was something my grandfather used to say. And so Mujeres Machas, it's like this, obviously like this feminist move, like this beautiful thing. I'm a mujer macha. And what is that? It's a woman who doesn't give up, a woman who is so strong and so valiente in herself. She knows that she can handle anything, that life is hard, but we're gonna keep on going and we're gonna figure things out. And when they get tricky, we don't sit down and say, I give up. We figure it out. And so this is the movement that we're all here for.
Hello, welcome to our event in honor of Latinx Heritage Month. This Mujeres Machas La Cosecha event is dedicated to the immigrant experience. Today, we focus on reframing our experiences as immigrants to empower the next generation of leaders. We hope that as you listen to the experiences today, you see reflections of your own journey. Whether or not you are a recent immigrant or child of an immigrant, if you stop and listen with an open heart, you can recognize just how connected we really are. Now for some history. Hispanic Heritage Month began as Hispanic Heritage Week. Hispanic Heritage Week was signed into law by President Lyndon Johnson in 1968. In 1988, President Ronald Reagan signed legislation to expand it from a week into the month that we celebrate today.
September 15th was chosen as a starting point for the commemoration because it is the anniversary of independence of 5 Hispanic countries: Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua, who all declared independence in 1821. In addition, Mexico, Chile, and Belize celebrate their Independence Days on September 16th, 18th, and the 21st, respectively. In addition to the celebrations of independence, this month also allows time to reflect on the contributions that Hispanic Americans have made to society and culture in the United States.
So what is Latinx Heritage Month? It's a broader approach to what was signed into law over 50 years ago. Latinx, rather than Hispanic or Latina or Latino, represents the identities of non-binary and gender-expensive people. Latinx also includes the lives of indigenous, Brazilian, and other non-Spanish speaking people in this celebration. In other words, we making room for everybody. By the way, the Latinx population in the U.S. is almost 60 million people. We're the largest minority group in the country, and that number is projected to reach 111 million by 2060, according to a U.S. Census report.
Now let's bring that home to what this means for us at Delta College. San Joaquin Delta College is designated as a Hispanic serving institution. In fact, 47% of our students identify as Hispanic or Latinx. We have clubs and organizations dedicated to supporting our Latinx community and amplifying their voices on our campus. Some of these include the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers Students Club, Mecha, Puente, the Dreamers Success Center, KWDC Delta College Radio, the Latino Medical Student Association, and La Raza Employees Association. Gracias por celebrar con nosotros. Thank you for celebrating with us. We hope you enjoy our day together today.
I remember my mother always telling us that education was important. She was a huge believer of education. Well, my mother passed away when I was 7 years old, and those words stayed within me, that I had to go to school, that I had to graduate. So I started the university when I was 17 years old in Costa Rica, and then I left to the United States when I was 21. And all that time, I wanted to finish my BA and continue my education. So in 2001, I finished my bachelor's degree in education, and I became a teacher. I've been a teacher for 21 years for Lora Unified School District. During that time, I always wanted to finish my master's degree, but for one reason or another, I didn't. I believe that now that I look back, I believe that one of the reasons that I didn't go back, it was my fears. I always thought that my accent, I'm not an English speaker, I'm not a native English speaker, so it might be very difficult for me. And other fears, other things that got in the way. But I said, okay, it's time now, that the time is correct. And I went back. I had started my master's, so I had some courses in my master's. I started last year in July, and then I just completed my master's degree. And like I said, it was a lifetime goal. I'm very happy to have accomplished that goal after so many years. When I came to the United States, I was 22 years old. I saw that the only way I could really become a little bit more financially independent it was, or to provide better for my children, was to go back to school and have a better job. I wanted to have a better job. I want to be able to give my children a better life. I really didn't have anyone who helped me. I just knew that I wanted to go back to school. I never knew how. As a matter of fact, I never applied for the scholarships. I never applied for grants or for anything because I just didn't know. The very first semester at Delta, I took business law, I took English 1A, natural resources, speech. I remember those 4 classes, and I was very, very happy to be in school. That was the year that was 1992, and I started working for Laura Unified School District as a bilingual aide. I wasn't sure that I wanted to be a teacher, although I knew I liked the school environment. I liked the children, I liked the teachers, it was something new for me, something that I really liked, something that I enjoyed. I had also developed a good relationship with the parents at the school. I translated for them. It was a good connection with the school and the community. If I think back, there were so many roadblocks. For example, I didn't have a car to go to school, so many times I went to the school in the bus. Sometimes when I was able to have a car, I didn't have money for gas, and I had to make ends meet. Sometimes I didn't have money to buy water at school or little things like that. But it was very all those what I can say, I don't know, challenges maybe. They were not really challenges that I was always focused. I was always focused on my goal, and I wanted to finish no matter what. 8 years later, I was able to finish my BA, and after that, I finished my credential, my teaching credential. That was 30 more units on top of my BA, and I've been a teacher ever since. And I have little girls. They said, Mrs. Hernandez, I wanted to be just like you. I want to be a teacher like you. And I tell them my story all the time. I share with them where I was born. I share with them how I grew up. I share with them that my mother passed when I was young, that my dad was a farmer and he was probably illiterate. But the thing is that he always believed in me. He always believed in me. He always motivated me to do things and to know that I could do it. So I thought I was like powerful, and I always grew up thinking that I could do things. And anyhow, when I tell my story to them, then my children listen and they believe in themselves. They believe that they can do things. And I tell them, you have to believe in yourselves. And even if no one believes in you, I believe in you. I know you can do it. And throughout the years, I had the chance to share my story with some of the parents. And I know, as a matter of fact, I think right now there are 3 parents that are going to school. They have been motivated by me, and they have openly said that they liked my story and they believe that they can do it. And I believe everybody can do it. Like I said at the beginning, one of the things that really held me back, it was probably my fears, thinking that, okay, I have an accent. I'm from Costa Rica. Everybody's probably smarter than me. There's all these young kids in college, and I'm going to be the last person who doesn't know anything about technology and things like that. It was just my own fears, my own shortcomings. Go for it. Don't wait anymore. Start at Delta College. That was where I started. Go for it. Please don't, it doesn't matter how old you are. The thing is, I think when we are older, we think that our brains don't work the same, but you know what? That is just not true, because we have something else that is experience. We have much wisdom, we have much dedication. And I really, I was so afraid to go back to school, because I thought I think my worst fear was failing, and I don't like failing. So I tried really, really my best. I tried harder, and I actually graduated with the highest honors. And I wasn't even aiming for that. I think it's because when we're older, we are more dedicated. We know the value of it, and we really don't have time to mess around. So yeah, I think go for it. If you're thinking about going to school, go for it. Don't wait any longer. a todas las personas que hablan español, a los que son inmigrantes que vienen de otros países, no pierdan su sueño. Tienen que tratar de seguir adelante, de ser un buen ejemplo para sus hijos, de ser un buen ejemplo para nuestras familias que quedaron atrás, y nunca olvidarnos de dónde vinimos, nunca olvidarnos de nuestro país, nunca olvidarnos de quiénes realmente somos, de nuestra herencia. Y sí podemos desarrollar todos nuestros sueños en este país.
In May of 2019, I came across an article on Facebook. The original article was actually published in 2007. Written by SF Chronicle staff writer Taish Hendricks, it told the story of Mexican immigrant Catalino Tapia. The subheadline read, "Giving Back. Catalino Tapia came to the U.S. from Mexico with just $6. Today he oversees a foundation that will grow a garden of students, and it will flower and bear fruit." Here's what made his story so remarkable. Catalino Tapia was 20 years old when he came to the U.S. He arrived with a 6th grade education and eventually started his own landscape and gardening business. And here he was so many years later, launching the Bay Area Gardeners Foundation. He recruited other gardeners and local businesses to donate, and within 2 years, they had $250,000 to invest in low-income Latinos and provide them with $1,500 in scholarship monies. The article went on to explain that Catalino put one of his 2 sons through law school at UC Berkeley and was so inspired he created a foundation to help put other Latinx students through college. One of the quotes in the article challenged readers to rethink philanthropy, to rethink who we consider and give credit to. I reposted the article to my timeline, and I never forgot about it. This article lived with me because I needed to hear its message. I was raised by a mother who volunteered in my classrooms. She sold tamales for the PTA while carrying my little brothers on her hip. She taught me to do the same, to prepare meals for the sick and be a woman of action in my faith and hope for humanity. I never thought of her as a philanthropist, though. That word was reserved for people in history books, people long dead who left their fortunes to people I don't know. This article challenged all of that, and I needed to hear it. As a 40-year-old college professor who struggles with imposter syndrome and still hears the echoes of the lies I've believed for the majority of my life, like I'm not enough, I'm too immigrant for this, or I'm too brown for that. I needed this tanned-skinned man with his calloused hands and generous spirit to be one of my newest heroes. So, I did what any former broadcast journalist turned community college professor would do. I stalked him online and sent incessant messages asking if he would talk with me.
Felicidades, Don Tapia, por todo lo que has logrado, por lo que inspiras, y gracias por tomar tiempo para platicar con nosotros en Delta College en Stockton. Bueno, para empezar entonces, quiero que me cuentes un poco de lo que pasó, la inspiración de cuando empezaste con la fundación.
Muy bien, la inspiración fue mi hijo menor, Noel Tapia, el cual se graduó de leyes en la Universidad de Berkeley. Cuando nosotros atendimos a su graduación, era tanta el gusto, la euforia que teníamos ahí, mucha felicidad, pero también al mismo tiempo noté algo que me hizo sentir triste, y eso fue que solamente un puñado de latinos se graduaron esa noche, y dije yo, pues aquí hay algo que no engrana, y y pues pensé en lo económico. Entonces ahí me prometí a mí mismo que algún día yo haría algo para algún día darle la oportunidad a los jóvenes que estaban ahí, de darles la satisfacción a sus padres, la cual estaba viviendo yo, y allí nació la fundación.
Ya, en ese momento entonces de ver a su hijo. Wow,
Sí.
wow.
Y tomó mucho tiempo para llevar todo a cabo, porque pues yo no sabía yo absolutamente nada cómo empezar el proyecto, pero Dios es grande y me iluminó, y ahorita la fundación está trabajando.
Bueno, felicidades por eso, pero acabas de decir algo muy importante para nuestra comunidad, que usted no sabía cómo hacerlo, pero sin embargo lo lograste. Ese espíritu de no dejar una idea botada porque uno dice, bueno, es que yo no sé nada de eso, me gustaría, pero como no sé nada, mucha gente se queda estancada, ¿verdad?
Sí. Bueno, yo mi consejo para las personas que tienen alguna gran idea en la mente, llévenla a cabo, porque si no va a quedar, ahí va a morir como una gran idea que no se realizó. Yo, para que más me comprendan, yo nunca fui a la escuela, solamente fui hasta el 6º grado en México, pero aquí ni un día siquiera, y pues no quiero decir que estaba en la calle, pero sí no tenía dinero de sobra. Y cuando inicié esto, pues no teníamos ni un centavo para materiales que se necesitaban para la promoción y todo eso.
En verdad.
Nada, hasta que mi esposa y yo nos pusimos a hacer tamales y vender tamales en el colegio de San Mateo para recaudar fondos para comprar materiales.
Wow.
Y así iniciamos.
Wow, entonces era con la idea, la inspiración y las ganas de hacerlo y de buscarlo. Y tengo entendido que su hijo fue el que le ayudó en todo eso de legal y ya formalizarse como una fundación.
Y yo estaba bien confundido, que no sabía cómo hacerlo. Entonces un día manejando de Redwood City a Los Ángeles, mi esposa se duerme luego como a los 10 minutos, y yo tengo todas esas 6 horas para ir pensando cómo hacerlo. Y cosa como un milagro, como a medio camino, algo se me vino a la mente y sentí una luz, ¿verdad? Que me decía, tú eres jardinero, trabajas con gente acaudalada, pídeles ayuda, a ver qué pasa. Pum, cerré el libro y me fui hasta Los Ángeles. Llegando a Los Ángeles, le dije a mi hijo lo que había ido pensando. Dijo, vamos esperando un poco porque van a llegar 2 amigos míos que son abogados también, y ya entre los 4 podemos saber qué llevamos a cabo. Gustoso, ¿no? Cuando ellos llegaron no los dejé ni sentarse. Les dije, vénganse para acá porque traigo una idea en la mente. Y ya les platiqué la historia, y una de ellas, Maribel Medina, dijo, podemos formar una fundación. Y yo dije, bueno, pues yo no sé ni qué es fundación, pero suena como que cuesta dinero.
Ajá.
Dijo, por el dinero no te preocupes, entre nosotros 3 te vamos a apoyar a conseguir todos los documentos legales, y ya que tú tengas los documentos en tu mano, es tu obligación recaudar los fondos para que sigas adelante con tu proyecto.
Sí.
Se fueron como 1 año y medio sin conseguirme los documentos, Pero una vez que ya lo estoy en mi mano, dije, pues ahora ahí voy. Me fui aquí de mi casa, está un colegio que se llama Cañada College.
Ajá, Cañada College.
Está como a 2 millas de mi casa, a pedir ayuda, que me hicieran una carta para mis clientes, bien escrita y todo. Y allí mismo recluté 4 estudiantes para que me ayudaran a poner direcciones y todo eso. Y vámonos, pero yo tenía un temor, porque digo yo, pues si te están dando trabajo y ahora les vas a pedir dinero, pues ¿qué pasó? Pero me decidí, dije, aquí lo peor que puede pasar es que me digan que no o me corran de plano. Pero no le hace, yo voy. En 2 semanas ya había recaudado $10,000.
Wow.
Yo dije, Dios, este es el camino a seguir. Y así empecé hasta que en el año 2006 ya teníamos como $46,000. Y dije, es tiempo de dar las primeras 5 becas. Y así fue. De ahí en adelante, cada año fuimos aumentando la cantidad de becas y un poquito de dinero también. Y ha sido un trayecto muy, muy bonito, muy satisfactorio, ya que estamos viendo los resultados ahora de todo ese sacrificio, porque muchos de los becados ya son profesionistas. Tenemos desde ingenieros, enfermeras, maestras y muchos más que andan por ahí, y lo bonito es que los empezamos a conocer desde un principio y ahora ya vemos lo que lograron, y digo yo, bendito sea Dios, porque hicimos buena inversión en seleccionar los estudiantes. Y de 5 jóvenes que becamos en el 2006, este 2020 ya llegamos a la cantidad de 321. Se siente tan bonito ver, es como un hijo. Lo viste gatear, lo viste caminar y luego lo ves correr. Así están estos jóvenes ahorita, desde el primer año de colegio, universidad, hasta ahora. Le platiqué que el día de ahora tuvimos una entrevista también con una de las jóvenes becadas que ha ganado nuestra beca 4 veces, y ella es la prueba de sacrificio, porque yo sé de todos los sufrimientos que ella ha pasado, desde discriminación, de ahí en adelante en el colegio, pero sin embargo yo todo el tiempo le estaba llamando, y tú puedes, Carla, no te preocupes demasiado, tú puedes y lo vas a lograr. Y ahora pues ya está estudiando para su maestría, y es una gran satisfacción. Y la cosa rara es que vive en Stockton como usted.
Sí.
Y año con año son más y más los que ven en nuestra fundación una oportunidad, un apoyo.
Sí.
Porque además del poco dinero que les damos, yo creo que les damos amor para toda la vida. Y eso es importante para ellos, que alguien que no los conoce siquiera confíe en ellos y les diga, ¿sabes qué? No te conozco, pero te voy a apoyar en tus sueños. Y de ahí ellos saben cómo, pero se van adelante. Y eso es lo que queremos, a jóvenes luchadores, guerreros, que no se dejen vencer por nada hasta lograr sus sueños. Sé de muchos casos de jóvenes latinos indocumentados y también con documentos que piensan que high school es lo máximo que pueden ellos llegar, pero quiero decirles que no es verdad. Hay muchas oportunidades, hay muchas fundaciones que los pueden apoyar. Todo lo que tienen que hacer es buscar, no decir, ay, ya con esta, no. Hay millones y millones de dólares que no los reclama la gente y ahí están. Y pues para eso uno trabaja, para apoyar a nuestros hijos. Y ya una vez que lograron sus sueños, vete adelante. Y también hace rato me estaba diciendo usted que cuando su padre la llevaba a la escuela, le daba vergüenza ir en la camioneta del trabajo de su papá.
Cierto.
Pues mire qué coincidencia, porque mi hijo era lo mismo. Yo le daba ride en mi camioneta del jardín. Y me bajaba como 2 cuadras antes de llegar. Y yo decía, bueno, pues tendrá ganas de caminar, hacer ejercicio o qué. Pues no, ya después de que se graduó, en el evento de celebración de su graduación, mencionó por qué se bajaba. Y se bajaba por vergüenza, porque no querían que se bajaba de una camioneta de un jardinero. Pero quiero decirles que gracias a la jardinería les pudimos dar estudio al que quiso estudiar, y gracias a la jardinería he podido llevar a cabo este proyecto de la fundación, porque trabajando, digamos, en cualquier otra compañía, no vas a ganar el dinero que se puede ganar así como jardinero para uno que no tiene educación. Y también quiero decirles que mi primer trabajo aquí en Estados Unidos fue haciendo donuts y ganaba 45 centavos la hora.
Wow.
Yo trabajé en cientos de trabajos hasta que me llegó la oportunidad de trabajar en jardín, porque dije, no, pues esto no, y yo le ayudaba a un señor japonés para los sábados.
Uh-huh.
Y dije, yo esto ya lo puedo hacer. Un consejo también para toda la gente, no solamente para los jóvenes, que nunca hay que decir yo no puedo, porque sí se puede, pero lo que tienes que hacer es sacrificarte, echarle muchas ganas y poner tu corazón al frente. Y el ayudar a que un joven mejore su forma de vida y tenga más oportunidad de enfrentar el futuro, pues lo hace sentir a uno satisfecho. Porque el estudio, la educación, es la llave para abrir muchas puertas en el mundo. Y el que no estudia, le va a tocar trabajar como yo, a pico y pala y cuanto caramba. Y eso no lo queremos, porque día a día nuestros jóvenes tienen que buscar lo mejor para ellos. Y lo mejor, pues, es el estudio.
Pues yo antes trabajaba en restaurantes, en una guainera, y cuando yo tuve a mi niña decidí poner este negocio para dedicarme más tiempo a mis hijos. Entonces, pues desde entonces tengo aquí. Quise ser mi propia patrona más que nada. Pues la verdad, yo vengo de familia que tenía negocios en México y mi abuelita decía que siempre teníamos que salir y ser mejor cada día, tratar de, pues, de tener otro tipo de vida, ¿verdad? Y pues la verdad, aquí nadie me manda. Si yo quiero venir a trabajar, vengo, y si no, pues no. También por esa razón. Este vale 5, 6, 9. Pues yo digo que uno cuando quiere proponer algo no debe tener temor a ver qué va a pasar. Uno tiene que hacerlo y echarle ganas. Yo pienso que la iniciativa es querer, y querer es poder.
Okay, Damon, so tell me, why did you start your own business?
Yeah, I started my own business because I believe that entrepreneurship and working for yourself is a thing that everybody should be able to do. You know, you should follow your dream, follow your passions, and do what you love.
On behalf of Mujeres Machas, thank you for joining us today. Today we touched on 3 important topics: the immigrant experience, education, and following your own American dream. We hope that as you celebrate the rest of this month, you remember the stories that you heard today and you use them to inspire you, to motivate you, and to just get you to do bigger and better things. Right now, we will transition into our Q&A part of our program. This will be taken care of by Claudia and Eva. So, Mujeres, take it away.
Buenas tardes a todos. Thank you so much for being part of this event. Even through all the technical difficulties, we really appreciate your guys' time. And also, muchas gracias al señor Catalino Tapia y a Florentina Hernández. Ahora, si tienen algunas preguntas, por favor, pregunten con sus micrófonos o pueden ponerlos en el chat room. If you have any questions, please feel free to either unmute your microphone or enter them into the chat room.
Okay, so my first question is for Florentina. Why are you wearing your gown? Tell us about that.
Oh my goodness, I thought you would never ask. Okay, well, I'm wearing my cap and gown from my master's degree because it's mine. I earned it. Bueno.
I love that answer. But tell me really why.
You know, because I just graduated about, let me see, not even a month ago. But then also my ceremony is going to be online and I won't get to wear it and walk with it. So I'm saying I'm wearing it today as my only opportunity that I'm going to have to put it on. So, you know, I'm sort of unorthodox, so I wanted to wear it today. And that's what I'm proudly wearing, my master's degree gown and cap and gown, attires, regalia, whatever you may want to call it. Gracias, gracias.
Eva, do you want to go into the chat and maybe read some of those out loud?
Sure. Let's see what's out here.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes, congratulations, Mama. We are so proud of you.
Eva, I see a question in the chat from Bianca.
Okay.
Tienen que traducirla.
So Adriana, unfortunately, it's not pulling up on my end of the chat room.
No worries, I see it here. It says, what legacy do you want to leave behind? So, esta pregunta es para el señor Tapia. Don Tapia, muchas gracias por acompañarnos hoy día. Hay una pregunta y esta pregunta es para usted y dice, señor Tapia, ¿qué legado, cuál es el legado que quieres dejar?
La educación, el trabajo fuerte que la fundación ha logrado, el gran apoyo de la mesa directiva y darles a saber a los jóvenes que como yo nunca fui a la escuela, quise hacer algo para ellos. Y pues ese va a ser mi legado para que algún día quizá alguien forme también fundaciones y apoye a los jóvenes que vienen detrás de nosotros, los cuales al final son los líderes del futuro. Y pues prepárense para que se abran un buen futuro y no solamente para ustedes, pero también para su familia. Gracias.
Yo también tengo una pregunta para el señor Tapia. ¿Sí me escucha, señor Tapia?
Sí.
¿Qué recomendaría usted a los papás de niños pequeños para inspirarlos a que continúen en la escuela, para que saquen muy buenas notas? ¿Qué es lo que usted piensa que hizo para que sus hijos tuvieran la idea de seguir en la escuela, la idea de mejorar?
El apoyo de los padres hacia los hijos es sumamente importante. Siempre estar detrás de ellos y decirles, educación es número uno. Nunca digas yo no quiero estudiar, porque si lo haces, al final te vas a arrepentir porque el trabajo para los que no tenemos una educación formal es muy duro y pues ganas cualquier cosa. Y ya cuando tú tienes un título universitario, pues te abre muchas puertas para ti y tu familia y no te matarás trabajando como lo hice yo. Así que piénsalo y verás cómo el estudio es número uno. Gracias.
Muchas gracias y muchas felicidades y gracias por apoyar a los estudiantes.
Gracias a ustedes.
Okay. We want to say thank you to everyone for joining us. Muchas gracias, señor Tapia. Muchísimas gracias por todo lo que has compartido hoy con nosotros, por compartir su historia e inspirarnos. Igualmente le queremos dar las gracias a la señora Hernández. Muchísimas gracias por estar hoy con nosotros aquí, por inspirarnos y para dar un ejemplo de que la educación es muy importante. Por cierto, ese ejemplo que diste me ha servido muy bien en lo personal. So, thanks for that. Okay, did you have something else you wanted to say, Mama?
Yes, I wanted to, pero lo voy a decir en español para que don Catalino entienda.
Sí.
Quiero decirle a don Catalino que es una persona completamente fuera de serie, verdaderamente de admirar, porque en realidad su historia, don Catalino, y la mía, al final y al cabo, están muy relacionadas. Tal vez yo no trabajé tan duro como usted trabajó y tal vez nunca he ayudado a nadie a graduarse. Bueno, tal vez un poco sí, ¿verdad? Pero y usted, como usted dice que no fue a la escuela y no estudió, pero al fin y al cabo todo es relacionado a la educación. De alguna manera u otra, yo he motivado a otras personas a que estudien, a que se preparen. Y usted dijo algo muy cierto. Cuando no se preparan, es porque uno tiene que hacer los trabajos más duros, los trabajos más pesados y los que pagan menos. Y la verdad es que usted tiene tanta satisfacción. Yo solo tengo un título, usted tiene más de 300. Usted tiene más de 300 con su esfuerzo, don Catalino. Yo no sé dónde estaba usted cuando yo estaba yendo a la universidad, la verdad.
Todavía no nacía. Y miren, quiero decirles, el gusto que me dio ver a uno de nuestros becados estar con su traje negro. Él, Jeremy, es uno de nuestros becados y ahora es un gran ingeniero.
Oh, wow.
Así que es una situación verlo ahí.
¿Y él está aquí con nosotros?
Estaba en el cuadrito
Yo creo
de
que
abajo,
ya se fue.
con traje y corbata.
¿Ya te vas?
Creo que ya se fue.
¿Te acuerdas que fuimos? ¿Eh? No. No, este es...
¿Puedo interrumpir?
Órale.
Oh, aquí está.
Sí, buenas tardes. Hola, don Catalino, mucho cariño en verlo de nuevo. Aquí estoy con ya ahora mi esposa, la doctora Ana Romero Morales, doctora en psicología. Un gran orgullo también para todas las mujeres. Créanme que ha sido un gran orgullo estar al lado de ella y de verla, de lo que le gusta, lo que le apasiona trabajar con niños pequeños. Y ella hizo un comentario, el usar la compasión, de, como dijo don Catalino, sí, enfocarse en apoyar a los niños, a los hijos, pero no necesariamente siempre exigirles lo máximo. Todos tenemos nuestras cosas que nos hacen valiosos y otras cosas en las que necesitamos más apoyo, más comprensión. Entonces, seamos compasivos con nosotros mismos y sobre todo con los pequeños.
Definitivamente.
Gracias, joven.
A usted, un placer verlo.
Igualmente.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias por estar aquí y por acompañarnos. Felicidades para su esposa y para usted también. Qué lindo legado que has dejado, don Tapia. Ok, ahora sí, y dice, es cierto, muy cierto, gracias por decir eso, Janet. Dice que son más de 300 semillas que don Catalino está sembrando. Y creo, corrígeme si me equivoco, pero creo que son 321, me contaste.
Correcto.
Wow, felicidades. Realmente, como les dije en el video, esto es algo que yo necesitaba escuchar cuando leí ese artículo. Pasó mucho tiempo, pero nunca esas palabras que leí quedaron muy dentro de mí y lo aprecio mucho. Todavía no lo conozco en persona, pero siento que...
Tenemos que conocernos.
¿Verdad que sí?
Sí.
Sí, de acuerdo, muy de acuerdo. Bueno, ahora, porque ya estamos viendo la hora, a ver, si hay otras preguntas, estoy viendo aquí en el chat, dice, Janet Gutierrez is our scholarship as well. Adelante, Janet. Felicidades. Sabes, esto es una tarde muy bonita que estamos pasando, pudiendo escuchar de tantas historias tan lindas e inspirarnos aún más. Muchísimas gracias a todos por acompañarnos, pero ya vamos a cerrar el momento de comentario para seguir adelante con la próxima, lo próximo que es lo de los empresarios. Y para esto vamos a darle el tiempo a Eva Martínez. Thank you everyone for coming. We're going to transition out of our Q&A. Thank you for your comments that you placed into the comment box and for the questions and thoughts shared. We feel like we've been able to really spend some time in community this afternoon, listening to all of our various stories. And as we highlighted in the video, that when we stop and really listen, we can see that no matter where our country of origin is, or even if we were born in the United States, that we are all so connected. And that is really, again, drawing to the point of intersectionality of our stories. And it's so necessary to tell our stories so that we can be strengthened and fill each other up. So thank you everyone for being in community. Now I'm going to turn the time over to Eva Martinez while I share a PowerPoint presentation that just has some links. We're probably 5 minutes away from being done with our event. So thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself, and Eva, it's all you.
Thank you, Adriana. Thank you so much. And again, I just want to echo everyone who has spoken. The human spirit is such a beautiful thing to share with others. And no matter, like Mr. Tapia said, the smallest idea, please share it with us, share it with the world. You never know whose life you're going to touch by just having one idea. So thank you so much for joining us today, and let's take a look. And we want to also thank real quick, you'll see in the last frames are our vendors who have been just amazing with us. And please visit them, support nuestros asociados negocios. Por favor, visiten y compren. Son negocios que apenas están chicos, pero con el apoyo de nosotros, ellos también pueden hacer grandes cosas. Muchas gracias y buenas tardes.
As our last reminder, as we scroll through this, these are just, again, these are Latinx owned businesses. We would encourage you to reach out to them. But I also skipped the slide that I think is really important, and that is to encourage everyone who can vote to please do so. Really important that we exercise that right, and that we go out to the polls to ensure that that we do what we can to continue helping our people and fighting in the cause. Thank you, Dr. C. Cates, for that. Okay, there we go. We are all done. If anybody is interested, you can also go to our Instagram, and our Instagram is linking up all of these people that we're sharing about right now. I had my video on because I wanted to share. So these earrings that I'm wearing, hold on, let me see. I want to show you. They're wooden earrings, and they have loteria. And they are a lot of fun. These are by one of our vendors. I have esta muñequita that is very sweet, and it's handmade by one of our vendors. Son artesanías que la gente hace, y realmente nosotros como Hispanos, como Latinx folks, we want to celebrate. Here's another one, a pen holder. These are amazing vendors that, as we look at the idea of philanthropy, of business, of the immigrant experience, we want to make sure that everybody experiences all of this in a way that encourages us to be in community and to continue to share our skills with everyone else. So again, thank you everyone for coming. We are so appreciative. We hope that you enjoy the rest of your day and that you are well. Thank you.
Adiós.
Adiós, que les vaya muy bien. Hasta luego. Muchas gracias.
Muchísimas gracias, Juan Tapia.
Adiós, mucho gusto de verlas.
Mucho gusto, hasta luego.
Me faltó algo. I'm sorry, I forgot about something. And that is that I have to tell you about the next event that's happening at Delta College. So we are really excited. Hold on, let me stop share. And Latinx Heritage Month at Delta College is happening all virtually, and we are looking forward to the next event Let me see. I'm trying to share. The next event that is happening is, okay. Oh, that just died for me. Okay, the next event that's happening, does anybody have it in front of them? It is hosted by the Pride Center on campus, and it is going to be very powerful. I'm looking forward to attending. Thank you. Thank you. She's awesome. Thank you, Dr. C. Cates. Thank you so much. So it is happening on Wednesday, September 30th. It's a teach-in on anti-Blackness in the Latinx community. And it's happening at 2 p.m., 2 to 3:30. And in this, participants can expect to learn about how non-Black Latinx contribute to anti-Blackness and how we can do better. We will be raffling off a prize for those who register, must be present to win, and you can register for the free event at the address there. If you are interested in this event, please reach out to us as organizers for this event. If you're connected here, and we are happy to connect you with Dr. Ricky Gutierrez Maldonado and the rest of the folks over at the Pride Center. We thank them for the work they're doing. All right, thank you. And ya, es todo. Muchísimas gracias de nuevo por acompañarnos. En Delta College tiene varios eventos que van a seguir durante todo el mes hasta el 15 de octubre. Además de ese evento del Pride Center, tenemos the Indigenous Peoples Day, día de celebrar a la gente indígena. Entonces, ese viene siendo el 8 de octubre y también va a ser un evento virtual y estamos muy felices de poder ofrecer ese y los demás eventos para la comunidad. Espero que tengan un lindo día y estamos muy agradecidos que han sacado tiempo de su día para acompañarnos hoy día. Hasta luego.
Gracias.
Gracias, don Tapia. Que le vaya muy bien.
Igualmente. Vamos a estar en contacto.
Sí, espero que sí. Ojalá que sí, que cuando todo esto termina de COVID, yo voy para el área del Bahía o ya te invitamos a que nos visites aquí en Stockton.